Hey guys, what's up? It's the Merc here for Bullshit Games, and today is the final episode of The Quest for Gaming at College, Season 2. This is the last week of classes, so therefore it was our last night of D&D. It's probably going to be the last official week that the group and I that have been playing role-playing games on Tuesday and Thursday get together. And after this, new video series will be coming up maybe over the summer of my group down home, or just other things we will be doing in general to take up the slot of this series. Now, I want to talk about the end of our D&D campaign first, and what's going on Tuesday, and what went on Tuesday and what's going to go on tonight. First of all, the end of our D&D campaign was fantastic. Nobody died, which was amazing. I thought we would, but we didn't, and that was cool. Everybody did something impressive. We managed to get to where we needed to be. We were all level... I think most of us were level 6, some of us were level 5, there might have been one level 7. And just cool things happened with people's characters. My cleric became a saint, which was awesome. I can't level up again until level 9, but it was worth it. Everybody else, it was the trade-off, because all throughout the campaign I didn't really have any magic weapons or anything like that, and then I got to be that template saint, and it made my character a lot better, which was what I was hoping for. Again, to paint the final scene for you guys, we had made it into the fortress of the town where we were at, and where the evil dwarven wizard necromancer had summoned, had been creating the whole mess. He was pulling demons from the ether and sacrificing townspeople, and we stopped him. And it was cool because our gnome knight, our dragon shaman, and myself charged a horde of 100 zombies, and we won, which made it all the better. Some funny things happened, like the fact that the very first attack roll the knight and myself made when we charged together against some of the undead, each rolled a 20. We each criticaled, which was nice, even though crits don't affect the undead. Following that, the knight and our dwarven fighter both rolled a nat 20 at one point, which would have got them crits before fighting undead. Found out just how awesome turn undead can be, because you can just, when you're dealing with really low hit dice undead, you can just destroy swaths of them. Our dragon shaman got to set a lot of things on fire, which made him very happy. And our knight cut down many of the undead. And as we were halfway through hiking down the undead horde, we had our sorceress and our dwarven fighter trying to free the prisoners, and we found out you couldn't get to the cages because it was protected by a shield that had been put up by the dwarf, the evil dwarf. As we were turning our attention to him, his enslaved white dragon came. That's right, we got to fight a dragon. Now, I don't know if you guys have probably noticed that our campaign at times takes a less than serious approach to things, because we really just want to have fun, and if having something goofy happen in the story makes for more fun for everybody, we'll do it. Well, speaking of that, we had a epic moment where our dwarven fighter had enough of the dragon. The dragon and the dwarven fighter ended up grappling one another, which I just imagined in my head this white dragon shaking its dragon paw like it had stepped in gum, and the dwarf fighter being like the gum that you just can't get off your shoe no matter how hard you try. He finally managed to win the grapple check, and he rolled to pin the dragon, which he managed to do. He rolled high enough that even our DM was like, "Oh, well, you pin the dragon." And just as nonchalantly as anything, this dragon, who has been injured by all the party, is put down by none other than our sorceress, who, it was the most amusing thing. She's releasing people from the prisons either by breaking the locks, opening the locks, and we're all under haste, so we can do basically 2 things a turn. Our DM asks her, well, what's the other thing you want to do? She turns around and she's like, I'm going to shoot a firebolt at the white dragon. And it killed it, because it had already taken a lot of damage. And white dragons are vulnerable to fire attacks. So it did like double damage, put the dragon down. After this, we proceeded to listen to victory music. For the dwarf, Hulk Hogan's theme was played to celebrate his victorious wrestling match against the White Dragon. And for the whole group, as a sum up, we played We Are the Champions by Queen. And it was good. Any of us that want to, we can just continue our characters next semester. I think there's going to be only about 5 of us, because 2 of our players are graduating. So that'll be interesting. I know one of our players is thinking about trying to play something else, which, that's what I want to do. But we'll see. But that was the end of our campaign. It was pretty awesome. It was rewarding in a different way than last semester's, because in last semester's we all died doing something heroic that no one knew about. This semester, we all didn't die, did something heroic that a whole town's going to know about. So we feel pretty good. Moving on from that, we have Tuesday night. A buddy of mine in our Dark Heresy campaign had noticed that, seeing as I have been running Dark Heresy 2 nights a week for the past month, I want to say, the well has kind of won dry for ideas, which it's going to happen if you're running a campaign 2 nights a week and you're just making the stuff up on your own. You're not going out of a book or anything. So he asked me, he said, hey, you have your Pathfinder books. Could you bring those up? Maybe I'll run a game. So someone who hasn't DM'd before, due to their involvement with our group and with gaming, he ran the first part of an adventure Tuesday night. We're going to finish it tonight. Should be a good time. He's doing a really good job of pacing and things, which, for a first-time DM, sometimes that can be really hard, and he's not run into any problems. So that's pretty interesting. The group I'm with, we are the most motley assortment. We have an elven rogue who I don't think understood how important Constitution is to your character, because he ended up with an 8 in his Constitution. The way Pathfinder works compared to D&D is you're not dead until you hit negative your Constitution score. So for a lot of us, we're better off than in D&D, because in D&D it's negative 10 dead. I can go to negative 17, a couple other players can go to negatives. Our rogue can go to negative 8 before he's done. The DM's decided he's going to either let the rogue roll for his stats instead of buying them like he did, or just bump his Constitution up to 10 to make him a little bit more resilient. On top of that, we have a half-orc barbarian who is a great player to just tell, I need you to roll those dice and kill something. And he does it, and he kills things. He has a bit of a problem sometimes staying focused, but when he does focus, he does really well. We have a half-orc paladin he's our only healer. So now that he's 2nd level, he can heal us. That's a good thing. And he hits like a freaking truck. I mean, he really does, because he's a half-orc. He ended up with a 20, I think, in strength. He hits like a truck, and he has good armor class. And then I'm playing a half-elf sorcerer. And it's really interesting, playing a sorcerer. This is the first time I've played a sorcerer. I never played one before. So that's kind of cool. I kind of like the system of Pathfinder better than D&D for spellcasting, because you can cast your 0-level spells as many times per day as you want, and you only have to worry about first level and up spells disappearing after you cast them, which makes sense because 0-level spells aren't that powerful. We're fighting goblins, and I have a feeling tonight we're going to be fighting a whole heap of goblins, so we'll see how that goes. But that's pretty fun. And he and I have talked that next semester we might trade on and off. I'll do Dark Heresy one night. He'll do Pathfinder another night, which is fine by me. It'll give me time to come up with my adventures. It'll give him time to come up with his adventures, and it'll let him grow as a DM, having never done this before. So at the end of this semester, that's where we stand. 2 groups, both that have been amazing fun to be in. Both that I think have the potential to grow and expand, because I know next semester there's a handful of people that have asked about joining in on my Tuesday, Thursday games, and that's really all I hope for when we do these kind of things, is we can bring new people in, introduce them to role-playing, and have things like what happened in my Tuesday, Thursday night group, where somebody who's never even dealt with running a game before says, hey, I want to try it, can you help me? And that's what we do. Overall, this entire semester has been a lot of fun. We played a lot of board games in the beginning. We've had a really good experience with Dark Heresy. It was a lot of fun for me to get back into that. It reminded me that I still do love the 40k background, even if I don't like the miniatures game anymore. And that's why the role-playing games are perfect for me. And I think people like me that have that issue. Had a good time with D&D. It was interesting to see where the campaign went, and it was especially nice after we got out of the dungeon and onto the surface and were able to kick some undead ass. What's to come, I don't know. I know we're going to do D&D again next semester, and I know the Tuesday and Thursday nights are going to come. As for my group down home, I have the new Shadowrun book. I'm probably going to read through it next week over finals week when I don't have a lot to do other than study occasionally for a test. Try to get that in my noggin so that I can run a game for them. Even if I can't wrap my head around Shadowrun, I'm going to run something for those guys, because my group down home is just as awesome as both the groups up here. But the nice thing is, with that group down home, I know the guys. I've known them for quite a while, so I know kind of how to tailor the game to them. And it's a small group. It's only 3 people. And sometimes I like that. I like a smaller group where you can have a bit more group dynamics going on. And I know all their playstyles, and all their playstyles really complement how I run a game. But aside from that, I know I've had a lot of fun this semester. Hopefully you guys have had a lot of fun watching this series, hearing about our adventures, hearing about kind of some of the things that go on when you're trying to run a gaming community, group at college. And that's going to be it for this quest. And hopefully we'll see you next semester for another quest for gaming at college. We'll see you later. You guys have a good one.